All right, so today we're going to be looking at Matayia's submission for our trainer test that we make all the trainers go through here at Bark Brigade. So, a bit of a problem I have with a lot of dog training companies when they grow is they don't have a clear way to see if a trainer is ready to take people's money and take on dogs and train them to a high level. So for us, we want to grow really quickly, but we want to do it right. So we want to make sure that if we're going to let someone take on board and trains or help with private lessons here at Bark Brigade, that they can train a dog to a high level on and off leash, provide solutions for behavioral issues without a shadow of a doubt. So for us, everyone here starts as kennel techs. This is how we're doing it right now. We're in the first year or two of the business. It might change later, but for now, everyone starts as kennel techs, and then they have to take a dog through our training system and showcase that they can get the dog to the standard that we train them to at board and train or private lessons with a functional on and off leash obedience. Even better if they do it with a dog with some behavioral issues. So Matayia is doing this with her personal dog, Luna, and Luna was a very reactive dog. And this is the first time I'm watching this video, by the way. I've seen her, obviously. She brings her to work, and I help her out with training every now and then, but I haven't really seen her out in public to this capacity. But Luna was a very reactive dog, like on-site reactive when we first got our hands on her, when we first started bringing her in. And she doesn't have the best environmental nerves. So, busy public places made her pretty uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure they lived out in the country for a while and moved into town out of nowhere, and that created some problems. They didn't really seen Luna before. So we take all that into account when we're judging these submissions. We take the dog into account. If you're a reactive dog, a nervous dog, a fearful dog, we take that into account. What we're looking for is a pretty clear-cut set of criteria. We want the dog to be able to perform all the behaviors: sit, down, place, heel, loose leash walking, recall. Particularly, we're looking for 2 minutes of loose leash walking, 4 minutes of heeling, at least a 2-minute duration of that, 3 sit stays, at least a 30-second duration of that. Handler must go at least 20 paces away on one of those reps. 5 down stays, at least a 1-minute duration, and the handler must go at least 20 paces away on one of those reps. 3 send to place commands, at least 10 feet away for one with a 30-second rep, and 5 successful recalls, one of which is at least 30 paces away. So that's quite a lot to check, and we also only allow 1 correction throughout the whole video and 1 reward, and we want to see minimal handler aid. We want to see the dog is able to do it with not too much help. So this is my first time seeing this. I just got this morning. I'm just loading it up now. So we're going to take a peek and see how Luna and Matayia did. So they picked an extremely busy environment, which is going to be interesting to see how Luna does here because, like I said, her environmental nerves are not the best. They're starting with the loose leash walking, which looks fantastic. So loose leash walking, we don't need the dog to be heeling. Some dogs do naturally just kind of stick to the right side there, like Luna is now, but she can go wherever she wants, left, right, and front, as long as she's not pulling, as long as she's engaged with the handler and not checked out, as long as she's not showing too much arousal or looking too suppressed. That is all we're looking for. You see a dog that's very, very engaged with the handler around distractions, which is fantastic. Tons of dogs and people. This is a ton of distraction right out the gates, which is nice to see. You can see she is a little nervous. She is a little uncomfortable, but that's okay. That is the dog that Luna is. As long as she's able to take direction and able to loosen up, especially when we get to more open areas, that is fine. What you have to remember is a dog that is a little a dog that is reactive or has like really bad environmental nerves, you're not going to be going and doing this like all the time. You just need to be able to do it. Like my dog back here, he doesn't have the best environmental nerves either. And I certainly can go do this with him, but it's not something I try and do on like a daily basis because he doesn't enjoy it. I just need to make sure that he can, and he's not gonna cause any problems when we do it. It's definitely a little uncomfortable. You can see that in the body language, which is very checked in with the handler, which is fantastic to see. So that was her loose leash walking. I was about 10. Look at this dog in close part. That's what I'm talking about, right there. Reactive dog. Dog in close proximity, pulling towards her, doesn't flinch. Into the off-leash portion, actually starting with a sit-stay here. Getting right into it, getting 20 paces away. Does not want to take her eyes off mommy. We have a loose dog over there on the left. I don't think that thing's on a leash. Oh yeah, it is. It's tied up. That's good, because I'm pretty sure if that dog went running over and jumped on Luna, that would not be a good thing. There's her first recall. Looks fantastic. A downstay. And this is perfectly okay right here. So what Mataya's doing, she has situational awareness. She sees the dog behind her, and she gets in between that dog and her dog so that she can see she's not going to let the dog make contact. That is absolutely fine. And it's actually what you want to do for a dog that's nervous or reactive. You want to show them that you are going to be, the shield for that stuff. Some off-leash healing. And you can tell she's a little uncomfortable, but she does have good body language for the most part. Like she's getting some tail wagging when she engages with her, when she throws her into command, she's happy to do it. You can see she likes, even though the environment makes her uncomfortable, she likes working with the handler. She's finding confidence in the handler to work through it, which is exactly what we want to see. One thing you'll notice is them changing from the curb to the street, and hopefully we'll see to grass as well with the healing. A lot of dogs struggle with that. Luna and Matayia struggle with that a little bit early on, changing between different textures, which she's doing a lot here. Dog coming to a stop when she stops. It's great. Nice positioning on the healing. And this is going to be tough because you got a big family and a big dog pulling ahead, so you're going to have to go real slow or kind of work their way around here. People on the left, there's tons of distraction. Crazy amounts of distraction. Some dogs barking in the background too. Really pushing Luna here. So it looks like there was a little confusion there, whether she put her in a down or she automatically went into a down. Looks like there was a little mistake there. And I did see one little correction on the e-collar, so that's her one correction. And that's all she gets for the whole test. You are allowed one, but it does look like there was one correction there. Either the dog went into the down, which is supposed to be in a heel, or there was some confusion around getting into a down as the people passed there. But either way, one correction. The dog did recover though. The dog didn't run away. The dog didn't freak out. The dog didn't act reactively, so that's okay. Send to place here. That was about 10 feet away. It looks like she's going to do her distance place right off the rip, 20 paces away. It sounds like we have some distraction coming here, which is fantastic. Yeah, we got a dog coming to check them out. All good. And see what she does? There's a child walking a dog there and it's being a little rude. So Matayia gets in between and says, hey, leave my dog alone. And Luna sees that, which is great. You need to advocate for your dogs out there, especially in busy places like this, especially if you want to have them off leash. And especially if they're reactive and they're off leash. So we've got our distance and our duration box checked for the place. Then we have another recall. It's fantastic. Oh, into a heel and then a down. Checking all the boxes here. Definitely checking the distraction box. See how the dog lights up a little bit when she engages with it, just a break, a sit. Every time she throws into obedience or out of obedience, the dog's body language lifts up. That is what we want to see. This is stressful for the dog. Because she's using an e-collar or has corrected the dog or something, it's not why the dog is stressed. This is stressful for this dog, period. The reason she's been able to get through it is her relationship with her mummy. Stop barking at her there. My dog hears the dog barking too. It's more off-leash healing. This picture in the healing looks perfect. You see a dog, its body language looks good, but it's focused. You see the ears back, the neutral tail. This is a dog that knows exactly what it's supposed to be doing, and it's trying. She's not micromanaging the dog. She's not giving it an abundance of help, no treats in the pockets. The dog just knows what it's supposed to do and goes out and executes it. Bunch of little dogs pulling. Notice the body language doesn't change passing those dogs, right? It's the same picture when there's no one around versus when there's dogs around, which is great to see, especially for a dog like Luna, who did have some nerves. Left here. So far so good. She's used her one correction, so doesn't get one more. She can reward the dog at any point if she wants to as well. Just once. And knowing Luna, that will probably be her ball. Loves her ball. Now she's walking around the perimeter of a dog park. This is the downtown Calgary East Village. This is a really busy spot. I believe it was Pet Fest this weekend, so the perfect time to get her out and shoot your test. We'll just definitely check the box on duration healing. It's probably well over 4 minutes of healing here. And the dog has remained correct. Send to place to the rock there. That was definitely more than 10 feet away. That was really nice. Straight beeline to the place. Still very attentive to Mummy, even with distractions all around. Recall there, perfect. The downstay. She does need to check that box of 2 minutes of duration down. She's going to transition into a sit here. Nice clean sit. The dog didn't even move forward too far. That's nice. Right in position. Okay, showing off a bit now. Another distance place. Flying at it. It's really good stuff. Not a ton of distraction here, but there is a dog park right there, and in the beginning they showed so much distraction, so we're not too worried about that. We've seen she can do it. Another recall. Looks like she's got her into some healing again. And now Luna is loose. Give her her break. Sit command there. One thing you notice is when she throws commands at the dog, she hits the position right where she is at. Looks like there was a little bit of hesitancy there. I'm going to rewind that part. See what happened there. In a sit. It just took a second. That's totally fine. You can see she hits the positions right where she's at. She really knows sit, down, all these things in position, which is great. Not scooting forward or running back to mom to hit the positions. For a dog like Luna, that's a big deal. Being able to transition from the sit to the down without running back to mom to do it when you have nerves like that is a big deal. So there was one correction in there. I want to talk about that. It looks like she auto-downed when she was in a bit of a stressful situation there. Knowing the dog, I'm actually surprised. That's the only problem they ran into in that busy of a situation. And she recovered from it. So part of being a good dog trainer is knowing when to give a dog a chance and when to correct. And to me, it looked like she did give the dog a chance at first, and then she needed one little help with the correction. And it wasn't a correction that didn't resonate with the dog, and it wasn't a correction where the dog was, shrieking and screaming and overreacting. And that is a big part of dog training, especially when you're pushing a dog to its limits and getting it in really stressful environments where it might be a little nervy or a little impulsive. The dog did recover, so you do get one correction for the sake of the test, and she used it, and she used it effectively. So with that being said, loose leash walking, great. The off-leash obedience, fantastic. She did check the box of the duration, healing, sit, down, the sends to place, the recalls. She was transitioning between obedience. She was off-leash, the whole damn test other than just the loose leash walking portion. I would consider this a pass of flying colors. I'll probably give that, if I had to grade it out of 10, about an 8.5, because there was one correction that had to be used, and I would have liked to see Luna going off on her own a bit more when she gave her break and exploring the environment, doing her own thing without having to be too stuck to mom. But I also understand who this dog is, and she is pretty nervy and she's pretty new to city life. And she was extremely reactive a few short months ago. So knowing that about the dog, I give it a pass with flying colors. We had an 8.5. And what I would say is over the next few months and the year of the dog's life is doing more of this will help, right? Getting the dog out more into busier places and getting her to just be loose and maybe like doing some structured play in places like this, and getting the dog to relieve its nerves a little bit is going to help with a lot of that. But outside of that, I saw a dog that was engaged, making great choices, and most importantly, really happy to work with the handler even though she was stressed. That beginning portion of the video was a shitload of distraction, and there are a lot of dogs similar to Luna that would not be able to do that, even with a pretty competent handler. So props to Matayia and Luna for getting this far and for passing their practical test. They did a bang up job on it, if I do say so myself. And she did most of this on her own. I was helping her here and there for sticking points, but most of this was just her learning or using what she's learned here and taking our online courses and going out and getting her hands dirty with her own dog, and then proving where they were at. So props to them for passing. This is what we need people to do when they work here if they want to progress to actually training dogs. So up till this point, Matayia been doing a lot of walking boarders that have already had some training. They're just here for the weekend or here for the week, doing some structured play, doing let-out, stuff like that. She hasn't actually been training any of the adult dogs, helping with the puppies, just with some basic stuff, but not doing the e-collar training with the adult dogs for board and train or privates. This is what you need to be able to do and show to be able to open that door. So congrats to Matayia and Luna. I think it was a lot harder for Luna than it was for Matayia. But now Matayia is going to get to start helping with the board and trains and the private lessons here. So if you're coming to Bark Brigade in the near future, after this video has been shot. Matayia may be training some of your board and trains. And, you know, up to this point, it's been a one-man operation here at Bark Brigade, and people always, you know, they know me. And if I'm going to hand the dog off to someone else, I want to be able to put it out there and say, hey, this is who is training your dog. They are in good hands. They are capable. And Matayia and Luna showcased that in this video very, very well. So, you know, congrats to you guys. And I think you guys have a strong future in dog training, and still a little bit to learn, but come a long way very quickly. And you guys have proven that you can, you know, take a dog through the system and get real world, you know, tangible results.